Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you guys the most vulnerable part of your Kubota front end loader. Now this is the LA525. I don't know what the other models are like, but I'm going to guess they're probably similar. So on the front end loader, right, you've got your bucket pins right here, right? Here and here. They're also grease fitting pins. Well, if you go to the inside, there are these 1/4-inch bolts that hold that in place. And here on my, you can see the one that's snapped, right? See how that's snapped? Let me show you the inside here for a second. Okay, so here, let's go to the top side here, right? So you can see there's the pin, and then you can see how the bolt goes through it and holds it in place. Well, if you go to the bottom one here, right, it's snapped, right? So the way this works is when you're working, right, and you're scraping, pushing along the ground, if a rock comes out underneath and makes contact here, sooner or later that's going to break. I mean, that's just going to happen. It also broke on this side over here, right? This is the one I have in my hand right here, the one that's right. So this is 1/4 thickness, 1/4-inch thickness by 2 inches length. Okay, this is something that you want to keep an eye on, because if you lose these bolts, right, that pin is going to slide out and you're going to lose it. And I forget how much it costs. It's somewhere between $50 and $75, and that was 8 years ago on my L3800. That's how I learned about this. About 8 years ago, I snapped the bolt. I didn't think I didn't realize that. Kept working, and at some point, my bucket was like flopping around the front, and that's because one of these pins slid out, and I never was able to recover that pin. So, I mean, these bolts are obviously they're pretty cheap. They're like $1, right, versus $50 to $75 for the replacement pin. So this is something you're going to keep an eye on. Okay, now when you put it in, you want to put it in like the way this is, right? You want the bolt head to be on the bottom, and then all the extra stuff out on top so it doesn't get hit. Don't do it the way they did it on this side. This is straight. This is how the dealer put it in on this side, right? So you can see how you got all this extra stuff sticking out over here. Well, that's more stuff to get hit. Right now, obviously it doesn't matter on the top pin, but it's going to matter, where are you? It's going to matter on the bottom pin, right? So you want to, when you put it in, you're going to put it in like that and pull it up as tight as you can against the, against the metal, so you have as little sticking out as possible, and that doesn't break. Okay, so this is something you definitely got to keep an eye on, because if you break these pins, they're cheap pins, but if the pin falls, I mean, they're cheap bolts, right? But if the pin falls out, now you're into $50, $75, and who knows if your dealer's going to have that in stock. So what I do is I keep a whole bunch of these grade A 1/4-inch bolts, right? 1/4 inch by 2 inches. I usually buy like 10 at a time. I just throw them in the toolbox in the back of the tractor. And when I'm working, I just routinely look at this, right? This is a vulnerable area that you just got to keep an eye on. So I hope this video was useful. If you're not a member of the channel, subscribe, hit the bell button. This way you get different notifications of different videos I put out there. Talk to you guys soon.